everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be working on some chandelier earrings. And we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be working on some chandelier earrings. You're going to need your wire. I'm using aluminum wire. It's the 0.8 millimeter, and I get it in the welding section. I love using aluminum wire because it does not tarnish, and it's very lightweight for jewelry. You're going to need some needle nose pliers. You're going to need some flush cutters. You are going to need some round nose pliers. You're going to need your nylon hammer and a little anvil. Okay, let's get started. Okay, to start, we're going to need a length of wire. Now, this aluminum wire is not nearly as expensive as the jewelry wire that you'll buy. So I'm willing to just take parts of it and use it willy-nilly because, you know, this is not an expensive wire. So you're going to start and you're going to get a piece of wire. I didn't measure, I just took. So if you want to measure, you go ahead. I don't know what to tell you for a measurement. So we're looking at the end of our wire. Okay. So you see it's flat. On the other end here, you see how it's kind of tapered? Do you see that? See how there's kind of a flat here? We don't want that flat. We want flat, like the top flat. Okay, so this is the end we want to work with. If you have the other end, you would just take your flush cutters and with the flat side facing towards your wire, you would give it a snip. And there, see, you would have the flat. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our round nose pliers and you're going to put it so that it's flush and at the widest part of your round nose pliers. We're going to give that a twist until it's meeting. See how it's meeting? Okay. Now we're going to take out those pliers. We're going to go again and we're going to leave a little bit of a space. See that little space? And we're at the widest part at the bottom. And we're going to do another. And we're putting our wire on top. It's on top of our work, okay? And we're going to just bring that. Now we're going to move and we're going to put it beside that loop we just made. We're going to leave a little bit of a space. And now we're going to go under. So see how I went under the work? Under. Okay. And then we're going to move and we're going to put our final one. And this one, we're going to make it so it goes on top. See, like this. Now this is what we've made. We've made a clover. Now taking your flush cutters with your flat side facing the wire, you're going to move that wire just a bit. See what I'm doing here? And we're going to snip it. Okay, so this is what you got. Okay, now you're going to take it to your anvil. You're going to hold it. And we're going to take the nylon side. The nylon side because if you use the metal side, it'll flatten your wire. We don't want to flatten the wire. We just want to stiffen it up. And we're just going to give that some taps. Now, if you did this right, these two bars across the middle here will both be on top, okay? If you did it wrong, one will be underneath and one will be on top. Either way, it still works for these earrings. It's just I like the looks of both of them on top. And the way we achieved that was by going underneath for that one part. Okay, So we're just going to stiffen this up. Okay, I want you to pause the tutorial here and make a second one because this is a pair of earrings. You're going to do 2 of everything at least, okay? So pause here and make the second one. Okay, so now the next step after you've made your 2 little portions is to pick your beads. Now I have decided to use seed beads. I am using, these are, I want to say 6/0 seed beads. They might be 8, I'm not sure. Mainly you want it to fit your wire, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take some wire. Again, I'm not really measuring. We'll say approximately a foot, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to check our end again. So is it flat or is it... So since it's flat, we're going to just take our round nose pliers and at the very tip, we are going to make a loop, okay? And then you take it just a bit back on itself. So it looks like this, okay? We're going to take one of the seed beads, put it on our mess of wire. Then we are going to, just using our nail, we're going to bend the wire. We're going to cut it about 1/2 inch-ish. Always cut flat side to the wire. And with our round nose at the tip, we are going to just make that another loop. Okay. Oh, I bent my wire. So make another loop. Make sure it's touching. And we want it just a bit back on itself. There we go. And then make sure it's touching. Do you know what I mean by that? Okay. So we want them facing the same way. And you see how it's not touching there? I'm taking my flat nose and I'm just going to make sure it touches. There we go. Better, not quite. There we go. Okay, so we've got one section made. Now, of course, you're going to do that 3 more times. So do that, meet me back. Okay, so we got all 4 of those done. I'll just zoom in. See, I got all 4. So now we're going to go to the next sections. Again, taking your round nose pliers, make sure that you have a flat edge. You're going to use your round nose. And we're basically doing the same thing we did last time. But this time, and if that's not quite flush, just take your flat nose and flatten it. Okay, this time we're putting on 2 beads. Let me zoom out. Let's put the dark one on the bottom. So we'll put the light one and then the dark one. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out later. Using your nail, let's zoom in. Using your nail, you're gonna just bend that. Using your snips, always flat towards the, you're gonna cut about 1/2 inch or so. And then you are going to take your round nose And you're just gonna turn that into itself. Why do I bend it? I'm just like too strong or something. And then you want it kind of bent back. And then you're gonna make it so that they're facing the same way. Okay, and make it touch. See, it's good if I make mistakes because then you can see how to fix the mistakes. Okay, okay. And now we're doing 3 more sections. 3 more sections of those. Okay, so we've got those ones done. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is once again, we're gonna check our wire. I don't know why I'm blurry. No. There we go. We're gonna check our wire and see if it's flat or if it's tapered. See how that's tapered? Okay, so when in doubt though, just give it a snip. Always the flat side towards the wire. Okay, so now we're gonna take our round nose again at the very tip, and we are going to make a loop all the way around till it's touching. And then we're gonna take it just a bit back on itself like that. We're gonna put on our last 3 beads. So I don't know if I've mentioned this. Actually, I know I didn't mention this, but notice I started with 1 bead, then I went to 2 beads, and now I'm going to 3 beads. And that's so that you get like steps in your chandelier earrings, okay? So we're going there, we're gonna take our nail, we're gonna bend it, take our cutters, cut about 1/2 inch-ish. Okay, and I've been working on the same foot of wire, just so you know. Now, round nose. Let me back out a bit more. We're gonna just turn that into itself and then give it a little bit backwards, okay? There, I finally did one almost perfect. And we want to make sure the loops are facing the same way. There we go. Okay, do that to the other one and then meet me back and we'll start assembly. Okay, time for assembly. So you're going to take your little piece that you made. I'm going to put, you see where I have an opening here? I'm going to put that at the bottom of my earring so that way gravity will work with me and nothing will come out of there, right? So we're going to start with our single bead. We are going to open it. You always open these sideways, okay? I'm going to take my clover piece that we made in the beginning and I'm putting it onto this one, okay? And since I want the nice 2 pieces to be on the front, I'm going to close it on the back. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is what I'm looking at here, okay? Now we're going to the 2, whoops. I want the light bead at the top, so we're going to go here. And we'll put it on the same one, but you want to make sure that the single bead is on this side, on the outside, okay? And then we're going to, oops. So that's my front. So I want to flip it to the back, and I want to make sure the single bead is on the outside. There. I need to incorporate more fingers. And then I'm going to close it. And just make sure you give it a little pinch. And this is what we've got so far. Okay, and then our long one is going to go in the middle. Okay. Whoops. Oh my goodness. I'm all thumbs today. I'm getting over a cold, and so I've got a little bit of the shakes and stuff still. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. And then we're going to just keep going. We're going to reverse it. So we want to open it. We're going to put the 2 bead on. Okay. And then we'll close it. Oh my goodness. Close it. And then we will put the 1 bead on. Okay, open it, put it on the last one. Make sure that that 2 bead is on the inside and this single bead is on the outside. Close it. And there we go. Okay, now I want you to go do the same thing to the other portion and meet me back. Okay, so I've done that to both. Now I've got my ear wires. And what we're gonna do with our, let me zoom up. With our flat nose pliers, we're gonna open our ear wires sideways. Now, looking at the section you made, you're gonna see that all of your joins are facing the back. And so you want that to be the back of your earring. So you want it to go on the ear wire like this. Okay, and then it's a bit of a challenge because I'm working around a camera. But then we're gonna close the ear wire. And there you go, guys. There is your pretty chandelier earring. Now, you can make these sections longer, shorter, you can do fewer of them, more of them, whatever you prefer. But that's how you make this earring. So I hope you had lots of fun. Check that description. It's got all kinds of interesting things in it. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.